Okay, so pick you up from Jade's. Okay, I may come do that first. Go check and see if the kids are there yet and who wants to come home if they are. Because they thought they'd be home by 3. And then once we know that, have that figured out, go to Walmart. Yeah, because that'll make a difference. So I love you. Bye. Okay, so you kind of heard the plan. Mindy and David Danny told Brett they were about 4 hours out, about 11 o'clock. So they, depending, they either are here or should be here anytime. So, I want to be ready to pick them up. I haven't heard from them. I have tried to call Mindy, not Danny, because I don't want to bother Danny, because Danny's the only one driving. They did give us a bit of a scare yesterday because they left Oklahoma in the morning. I'm guessing in the morning. Anyway, they left Oklahoma yesterday sometime. And then about, I think around 3, Brett said they were still in Texas. Around somewhere between 7 to 9, they talked to Stephen, and we're in New Mexico. And these are all our times, not their time, or not the time where they were at necessarily. But they were in New Mexico and they weren't gonna stop. And I was a little bit worried about it. I felt a little bit off the whole time they were gone about the trip. It didn't quite feel right. And when I heard that, I had an idea why. So I contacted my mom, and when she found out, she's like, yeah, but Mindy can trade off. And we told her, no, she can't. Not with a learner's permit, and the fact that she doesn't know how to drive a stick at all, and let alone a 6-speed stick, and she doesn't like driving the van. And Mom went, oh crap, had I known that, I would not have let them go. So because I guess they knew that it was having a little bit of issues. I'm not positive. Either that or they just figured it'd be okay because they had 2 of them, so no matter what, they'd be good. But as soon as she found that out, and they didn't want to stop because if they turned off the vehicle, it actually would, for very long at all, it would die. They think that it's been pulling on the lights, the tail lights are draining the battery more than they should be. And so they literally cannot turn off the vehicle at all, or couldn't. We told Mom that, and Mom basically said, no, they need to stop and sleep. So have them go to a Walmart or an auto parts store and sleep there and get a battery, or get a battery and then find a place to sleep. So I'm assuming, because they told Stephen between 7 and 9 last night that they had about 12 hours left of the journey, and then they told Brett about 10 today they still had about 3 hours left. I'm assuming they slept. Maybe not for a long time, but they pulled over and slept some to at least make sure they were good to go. And I'm okay with with my family. Sometimes at 1 to 3 hours, 1 hour or 2 hour or 3 hours of sleep at a time is enough to fully wake back up. I've watched it over and over. Honestly, I've done it myself. In fact, I got my license, my driver's license, and within a week, I did a trip from here, Cache Valley, up to Glacier Park, Montana, by myself. Oh, and I started during the day or something. Anyway, so the trip went overnight. So there was a part I stopped and I slept for like an hour or two because I was getting tired. And tired enough I knew it wasn't safe. Woke back up. Got basically there and slept until they opened up. And then got to where I needed to go because I was working there for the summer with a friend. So that was, I totally get it. I've done it myself with that short of breaks. So I'm not saying anything about his ability to do that. But I did not want him pushing through being tired, period. If he was tired enough, he needed to stop to sleep. He needed to stop to sleep. And so, hopefully, Mom had said put the battery in and use the new battery on the vehicle. But she had also said get jumper cables. So knowing them, it's also possible they kept the new battery out, and because it would have had power, and they could have literally just took the battery up and jumped from the fresh battery. Possibly too. So, but I think with the amount of time where they, at 7 to 9, they had thought they had 12 hours left, which would have been getting here at 7 to 9. So, and 9 was the latest because we talked to Stephen at like 9. So it's possible that, so let's say 9, that means that they even possibly got up to 6 hours of sleep if they didn't need to. Well, that's taking 6 hours of not driving. Let's put it. They had about 6 to 8 hours of not driving. I don't know how long it would have taken them to get the battery, to find a place, get the battery, whatever else. But definitely short enough that, and then if they needed to get gas, there's that too. What? I looked, you weren't there. You were behind, I think that car was behind the semi when I went to go. And I was trying to watch, but I didn't see anyone, and I did watch, and I kept watching the whole way through. I had to yield. So I had stopped, waited as people passed and whatever, and didn't see him. So I'm assuming they were behind the semi. Now, let's run in and see if David's here. And if not, we'll go on the route to find him. Steven's here, so maybe he's waiting for the other two. We will find out. I thought he would be at work because he wasn't home. Did you guys want to go home? Mindy and Danny? They aren't answering, so. I guess they're moving everything over, and Mindy and Danny are just waiting until they can get a ride home. If you want, I could take you home so you can sleep in your bed, Danny. He's completely out. I'm not surprised. Let's see if Mindy will. Did you want me to take you home? Okay. Huh? Okay. I just thought I'd check. Hi, Steph and Jen. Sorry I didn't see that immediately. I don't think I was behind by too far, but I was checking with the kids. So they are home. Well, they're at their uncle's, but they're waiting for Jade and stuff. So, and it looks like Jade's moving all his stuff out, so they may not be at home much longer. Now let's go find David. So, another thing, I actually thought it was kind of interesting. So, and I posted this on the, as for the Brilliant event, I posted this on the Brilliant, or on the Hive, but we have, this time, the babies of our first Brilliant event. Obviously there were a couple, there was one or two, there were some before we could participate because we weren't in the beta. So there were some that were in the beta, but the first full Brilliant event, we actually have the babies of now. I don't know if that's significant or not. But it is interesting to me that we have the babies of our first Brilliant event. And when I brought it up, the first response I got was, well, yeah, we have more babies. We still have the babies from the last event. That always happens. And I'm going, no, not the last event. The very first event. And they're like, what? There's David. So I can give her a ride over to... Okay, Mindy's over at the other house.
Why isn't Mindy coming home?
Mindy wanted to talk to Jade. I can't wake Danny up. Big surprise.
No, Danny's fine, but Mindy should come home.
To take care of Pup, I know, but she wanted to talk to Jade, I guess, or something. Something about Jade. I couldn't fully comprehend, so... You want to take the phone and watch? People are on, both Steph and Jen are on today. So... But I thought it was cool because, and Lovewood, you're right!
Ow.
Sorry. So people who had, and I didn't even start the event for like 2.5 hours after it started. So people who usually are the ones catching on everything had not noticed. I am thinking, tell me what you guys think of this. I'm thinking of pulling together all the screenshots I've got. So all the brilliant event foundables from the beginning through and putting it to music and just scrolling through them and doing like 1 year, first year anniversary, celebrate the first year.
Both Jan and Steph said hi. Again, probably for me. Definitely Jen, because she said hi, David, and then Steph said hi, y'all. So, what am I going after?
Purple.
I wish I would have known that earlier. We were like
That's okay.
15.
Whenever there's purple, we're going after purple. Just so you know.
I got tipped finally.
Cool.
$2 on Sunday.
I will say part of the reason you're not getting the tips Mindy did is everything going on.
I also don't necessarily care probably as much as Mindy did, because it's me.
That could be, but I don't think it's just that.
No, it's definitely not just that.
I mean, because Mindy, I will admit, Mindy was at a point, she was getting tipped almost daily. $10 to $15. There's no way, yeah. And from what I understand about you, it's not that you don't, or even if you don't care, you aren't going to do a bad job. You're still going to make sure it's a decent, not even a good job. Maybe not a perfect job, but a good job, right?
Yes. Of course, if I don't, I get fired. Eventually.
And so I don't think it's that. I think it's a lot of it's the fact that, well, first of all, you don't even have the number of people staying over as Mindy did every day.
I don't know, we've had quite a lot of people recently.
Almost every day, every room was full during the summer.
Not quite. It's not quite. Maybe on like Saturdays.
See, and hers was almost every day all summer. They were having to rush rooms, etc. And from what I understand, they could never leave a room undone for the next day because it would be filled by that night.
Yeah, we can shut down rooms.
See, and I never heard her once talk about shutting down a room. Even when they were slammed. Slammed. I shouldn't say slammed. Even when so there was one time every single person had to check out. Not one time. There were a number of times everyone had to check out because every room was reserved for the next day for an event. Or for that day for an event. And that happened a few times, and that's never happened to you. They also, if they were short on people because someone was sick or whatever else, it didn't matter. It was, you better push through it and just get it done. Hurry and get it done just as quick as you can because we got to have all the rooms.
Okay, I'm back. Had to pause to talk to my brother, says Jen. You didn't miss anything, really.
So she'll be slightly behind on what we're saying.
That's fine. That is fine.
Because you know how pausing is.
Yeah.
Unless she fast forwards to where we're at.
She might have. Come on. laughing cat emojis.
So I am...
Nope, I restarted the video.
Okay. Where is the reserved pickup?
I don't know.
Let's come up here and follow the arrows in just a minute.
I got, looks like Buckbeak, I think. I'm reading a recent... Oh, hey, this is actually a brilliant event, baby feasts. And I already placed it, I'm sorry. So I won't click anything until we park.
That's okay. You can place the brilliant event, maybe.
Well, there's texts. There's a text.
Read it.
Oh, okay. I don't know if this is a coincidence, but I remember a recent ministry report that the Forbidden Forest had seen an uptick in hippogriff poaching. I think I'll check into that.
Sorry, that's not what it is, Constance. Once again, I have a feeling that she's hiding something. And I remember we thought this at the beginning of the event before. So it was down that aisle. I just didn't see it. I'm glad I went the way I did. Anyway. Oh, that's why. It's the other way. Straight in front. Anyway. So we thought that at the end of the first event, people were really suspicious of Constance. And then people started to get kind of relaxed. So I'm suspicious that it's to remind us about Constance. Aha, there we are. To me,
Bump.
it's Constance. Something to do with Constance.
So what we got?
Okay, we go like this. We go like this because they want them up. We turn it off.
Well, no, I was more reading what we get, not
Yeah.
what we have to do.
I get that, but I gotta... You'll see.
So are they putting it in the trunk or what?
Yeah, that's where I want it. I guess you could pop the trunk, but...
Did you clear out the trunk?
My location services are on.
We're at F.
Let's do that. It says F, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
One.
White. Not listed. That's what they ask. They want it to be completely contactless for them and us. Oh, there's the numbers. Let's go over.
I thought you saw them.
No, it says D and EF. Those are what I saw. But down here, just a little bit more on the pickup, it has numbers instead of letters. That's weird. Anyway, there. Okay, there. Okay, let's see. Okay, it has us checked in. Now I can go back to playing while we wait. So they wanted a completely contactless check-in experience. For us and for the person, which I get.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's upside. Oh well. At least I think it is.
That's what's...
That's weird.
And actually, I'm really glad about the fact they offer this, because then I could go shopping rather than Brett go shopping for stuff for me. Yeah, I know I don't usually do these potions, but they were the quickest to meet the event, and I was just like, forget it. And I had read it before. I was just waiting to see if I could get any unicorn hair. Which I didn't, obviously. I know. They actually in it stated, please roll up your windows and...
It's hot.
But I may roll them back down just because it is hot and they're taking a while, so... I agree. That's why I was like, when I read that. I think they're used to people leaving the car running, but I'm not going to do that. Jinx! My car does, but we don't use it.
AC.
Mm-hmm. At least till Danny can figure out why we're overheating. Because it makes it overheat faster. I'm not sure. I think it's us.
Yeah, they're coming this way, so.
In the trunk. In the trunk.
Can I just confirm the name on the order?
Sky Jensen.
Oh, perfect. And did you see there was a substitution?
Yeah.
Alright. And everything in the trunk?
Yep.
I think it might be locked.
Oh. Try again. Sorry. I must not have hit it enough times. Sometimes it's mean and has me hit it a few times.
we have tissues or something?
What happened?
Got sweat in my eye.
Ouch. Hey, look, we have a paper towel.
I hate it when it happens. It's happened 3 times in the past, like since I started working there. Oh.
And I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at what Jen said.
That's fine. I kind of just figured
Thank you. Okay, that's yours.
But I have to.
Okay, so this is the first time I've done this. That's why I didn't have a clue what I was doing. But I really like it, I will be honest. There is no way to use coupons if you were going to use coupons. So for anything, I'd use a coupon. Yeah, but they can see I'm coming out now. I do have a short and a... It's not like I'm in the van.
I just wanted to make sure you saw them.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, it's not like I'm in the van, the minivan, or the vehicle that Danny drove home.
Truck, man. I don't like... trucks are kind of cool. Cars are better.
I like trucks. If I had my truck... my dream truck, I would not have been able to do that, though. I will give you that.
I prefer cars because you can make cars look very nice. Oh my gosh, there was a car at work today. It had a carbon fiber wing.
See, for me, look nice.
Cool.
Ford F-350, extended bed, extended cab.
Alright, that's okay.
So you agree with me that you could not make a car look that way, and that looks good.
Yeah.
And and that one does not have a very small turning radius at all. Now do you understand why I said my dream vehicle? But I do like this, you know. I like the small ability to get around with not a ton of... Now I wouldn't mind, if we could figure out the air conditioning, that would be nice. If it could be one that we could plug in also, have both gas and electric powered, I would prefer that.
So what's it called?
Hybrid?
Yeah, hybrid.
Yeah.
Hybrids are nice.
Especially if I could get this gas, this miles per gallon on the gas, but still have it be electric. Or if I could even get it in there, and you probably couldn't get the same. You'd have to be a little bit less just because, but...
David needs to wear a bandana to keep the sweat over his eyes. Yeah, okay, that's fair. I've actually been thinking about getting, like, something... Because I usually put my hair up. But if you put your... Like, I've heard that if you keep your hair up too much, you can start to lose your hair. So I've actually been thinking about getting something other than hairnet, like hair ties.
Room of those, the cloth headbands.
Yeah.
Things.
Honked at again. You missing what the orange flame was. That was probably my fault. I want a Chevy Volt. That's pretty good. Alright. I don't have a dream car or vehicle. All I needed to do is drive and look okay. At the very least. If I'm rich, then I have a dream car. But I'm not rich.
Well, but that's
Well,
think about it. My dream vehicle is only if I'm rich too, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I admit it's a cheaper vehicle than some vehicles out there, but
It's cheaper than freaking car. Like, I don't even remember what the model's called anymore.
no, I get that. I'm just saying, but it's still it doesn't matter how much money I have. That is my dream.
Well, if
Does
I
that
say
make
it's my
sense?
dream car, then I'm going to save up money for it. And I don't want to save up money for that car, because that means I have to save up money for that car. Dream electric car is a Tesla, to be honest. Well, Teslas are pretty good.
That's
I like
one of the
Teslas.
ones I've thought of, but Tesla is only electric. And we have had people from our area experiment driving from here to California, and it like doubles or triples the distance or the time it takes to get there, because of the amount of times you have to stop for not for gas, but to charge up. And then from what I understand, going from here the other way is even harder.
If you do an electric car, you don't get an electric car to really travel too much. Alright, Jen says the Volt, you can have the car off and still have the heater and AC on. And then dream car is a 4-door BMW M6 though.
Now, if I had the money to have 3 vehicles, well, 4 to 5 vehicles, I should say. Here's what I think we would have in our household. This isn't taking
First,
into,
a bigger garage.
This isn't taking into account Brett's desires. It's just kind of mine and knowing family needs and whatever. One would need to have a minivan. If we could somehow have it be a conversion or something, okay. But we would need to have a minivan. Because, period. 2 would be having a vehicle for a smaller vehicle for getting around, driving around, everything else. That would be I would prefer a hybrid, because then, like, we can take that traveling, whatever else. Third thing I would probably look at getting is either a cheap electric, but probably like a Tesla or something that'll drive around here. But I'd have to look into that more. 4th would be between my Ford and a RV for the family. And then, of course, my Ford truck.
Jen says, yeah, electric cars are definitely not for long distance traveling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Well, not only with the, having to charge it, there are potholes when you travel. If you are driving an electric car and you're not careful, a pothole can ruin the car.
But that's true of this car, too.
But more so with Teslas and, sports cars and stuff.
Well, so they have Teslas that are like this car.
Alright, I guess that's true.
You're thinking of the Tesla Sport, and I'm thinking of the other Teslas.
The more expensive, nicer Teslas.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, the other Teslas.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, Ford GT. I think that's what it's called.
I can see that. But, yeah, I agree. It's expensive. It's just, yeah.
I have a lot of stuff.
So.
Alright, bye, guys.
He's going inside. There is a while on Pup, I think, because I'm not sure when. I think Caden.
Stop Mindy, take care of her.
till like about 6, I think, is good for pups. So anyway, so I didn't hear, would you guys like me to do a video where I take the screenshots from the past year and put them to some of the YouTube free music? And have that as a video on the channel? This is not the one I was after, but I'll go after it, and then I'll go after the other one. Didn't, I'll be honest. The reason she didn't take it on the road, or on the trip they just went on, is they flew out and drove back, and so I'm not sure she felt with where they were stopping, different things like that, she could take the pup. But camping, I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I think it was more Brett than anything there. Because Brett doesn't accept that she needs a service dog at all. I think he doesn't fully comprehend some of the things going on. And he doesn't, well, to be honest, he doesn't understand service dogs in general. And then to throw in for his own daughter/stepdaughter, whatever, however you want to look at it, I think there's kind of that denial that she could have anything other than something that causes a little bit of frustration off and on. Something that actually does affect daily life every day. There's more than once I've just had to kind of keep to myself what I'm going through. I'm not going to say anything there. If he had one that could alert to low blood sugar and high blood sugar, yeah, that would be a really good thing for him. But the thing is I don't think it'd ever get to that point with a dog, because he would never create the relationship. To him, a dog is for hunting, and that's it. They do, but even like, I will be honest. So his aunt calls the ambulance on his uncle about 3 to 5 times or more a month, because his uncle's blood sugar's low. And his uncle's on a pump. And they've never considered a service dog for him. So I think to Brett, it's not so much. He thinks of a service dog as something that for people who can't hear, etc. Who are, I agree. But he kind of looks at a service dog as, because they're so expensive, which they can be, But they don't necessarily have to be if you own or train, if you do it right. But because of because of everything else, I think in his mind a lot of times it's you have to be handicapped, as in, so his cousin's daughter has a service dog, but she is so handicapped that she's like, she cannot function on her own, and it's to alert them in advance of her seizures so they can try and prevent the seizure. And so I think that's what he thinks service dogs are for, period, is that they're for severe cases of handicap where you have to be declared disabled, etc. Not that they're to help you have a better quality of life, that you have something that a service dog can help you with, a task that they can do for you, whether that's alerting or whatever else that they're trained to do, that can help you have a better quality of life. And not have, and that's the thing. That's why with Mindy, if she, hopefully she does get this dog trained, because it can help in a lot of areas in her life to where she can function better in public and be in public more often. Precisely, but he doesn't comprehend that. So, we talked about a couple years ago, he wanted to get a dog to train for Stephen while Stephen was still on a mission and had given up training his own pup that he bought to be a hunting dog. He wanted to get Stephen a hunting dog that he was going to quote train for Stephen without Stephen having any say in it or anything. And I said, you aren't taking care of this dog you have. I am not letting you get another dog. If we get one, if I agree to get a pup, it's going to be one I can train as a service dog for me, because then I can be sure it'll be taken care of. And I agree with that on Mindy. I will say she's getting a lot better. And actually, that's part of my hope with them moving to Jade's. She's going to have to take a lot more responsibility for that pup, because there won't be options for us to take it out, etc. Half the time when he's hunting, he won't take her. And during the summer, it takes one of the kids saying, let's go take a walk with the dog, before he'll take her walking. And then he wonders why she digs holes all summer. And then he got mad at me because the dog listened to me better than it did to him. So I finally had to back away and say, okay, you're in charge of the dog. And that was it within the first year of life. And so then he started having everyone else feed the dog and take care of the dog. And once in a while he'll go feed it, but most of the time it's him having someone else take care of it. And then he complains that Mindy only takes care of her dog half, 3/4 the time because she's not taking care of the dog. But at the same time, his own dog he does less for. So, yeah. You're telling me, Jen. Honestly, part of the reason we got it was because, so we had a good hunting dog that when she was out hunting one day with him, got hit. Not his fault, but the kids witnessed it, and it was the first dog the kids had ever had in the family at all. They were devastated, and so I agreed to get another one for the kids' sake. The dog was a year or two old. And he insisted on the same breed because the breed was so good. Or because the dog we had was so good. So, and I basically told him, you've got to understand, this dog has to go for a walk every day because of the breed and everything else. I promise. And I hate to say it, I don't take Brett's promises for worth crap. Just because over and over and over he promises, and within a short while the promise never comes to fruition. So, my kids feel the same about his promises. But anyway, and why don't we sell her? Because she's in Brett's name and Brett refuses to sell her. But if you remember, this was like 2 years ago when I could barely get her, when I was struggling, just starting to get to where I could get around again, etc. And that's when I wanted to look at a service dog to be able to improve that for the future too. And that was his response to me. So you can see why he says no to Mindy. He doesn't think she needs one. So anyway, I am going to let you go. We have got to get, I know, I've tried over and over, and I literally have had this conversation till I'm blue in the face, and instead he just wants to get another dog too, because then he'll train that one, even though his promise to me on this one was he'd train this one, etc. So sometimes it's just, yeah. Anyway, oh, 2 years ago, I had a stint where my blood sugars had been so low, my doctor had taken me off all exercise, and I lost basically all my muscles. So, and I actually talk about that on my other channel a lot. Or not a lot, but I have some videos on that if you'd like to go see them. So, I've got to either take stuff in or have people take stuff in. I'm going to see if I can get other kids too, but we'll see. I will talk to you later. Bye. We need to get stuff in from the car.